Lonely Monk Productions. I don't know if y'all have seen Spider-Man Brand New Day yet, but yo!
That's my Jawn!
Yo, displace the guilt and embrace the pleasure. You're tasting things that don't need to be measured. You ain't being judged, you won't get a score. So what the fuck is you faking it for? What is good, friends and family, neighbors near and far? Welcome to an all-new episode of the Yo, That's My Jawn podcast. The podcast, website, brand, movement, way of life dedicated to the embrace and championing of your passions. I'm your host, Nate Runkle, a.k.a. Jawn Bernthal, a.k.a. Nate 3.0, back at it again with yet another episode of the podcast. As always, I hope this podcast finds you all in good health and in good spirits. On today's episode, I am joined by Sad13, a.k.a. Sadie Dupuis of Speedy Ortiz. She has a new album out under her Sad13 moniker titled 1331, which is a 16-minute, 13-track rockin' good time titled as a mixtape. We talk about that. We talk about her career. We talk about MySpace. We talk about Rebecca Black. We talk about so much and so much more. And also, I make an attempt to get Sadie to help me exorcise an anxiety demon that I have had since the very first time we met. Intriguing, no? Well, that is all coming up in a bit. But first, how we living, team? It's August already? Okay, it's August already, and that means summer is almost over as quick as it came. And look, I know every year it feels like time flies, but this summer legit feels like it took the high-speed rail. Does anyone else feel this way? You know, I'm not sure if it's the crummy weather that's made it feel this way, or if it's, for me, the living, breathing reflection of time now living in my house. Y'all, my boy is growing too fast. I know everyone has said, savor the moments. It all goes by so quickly, but my little tiny guy is now a slightly less little tiny guy, and it's making me realize the fragile nature of time. Having a kid is wild, man. It's got me feeling all kinds of new emotions and reacting to things completely differently. This past weekend, I got to dress up as Spider-Man and work the lobby at the movie theater that I do a little moonlighting at for the opening weekend of the new movie Spider-Man Brand New Day. And it was amazing. It was an amazing time fueled by the pure joy on people's faces who got to interact with Spidey, both kids and adults alike. But man, this little kid who was dressed up in his Spider-Man costume out of nowhere just came running over to me and embraced my legs in this big warm hug. And I am totally lucky that I had the spider mask on my face because I legit started tearing up. Because I started thinking about all of the joy that I'm going to be able to see my kid experience. And it just fills me with so much happiness. More than likely, you guys already know this, but kids are pretty great, man. You know what else would be great? If you could subscribe, rate, and review the podcast everywhere and anywhere you can. Follow us on the socials at Yo That's My Jawn. Visit the website, yothat'smyjawn.com for the link tree with links to all things Yo That's My Jawn, including past episodes, guest appearances on other podcasts, merchandise, all kinds of stuff. And, tell your friends about the show. Okay, yeah, here's your homework. This week, tell one person about the show. That's it. Just one. You find one person, you tell them about the show. You can do that for your old buddy Nate, can't you, pal? Sweet. Okay. Well, guess what? It's showtime. My guest today is the guitarist and songwriter of the band Speedy Ortiz, who also produces electropop as Sad13. It is under that guise of Sad13 that on July 10th, she just released 1331, her new mixtape that, quote, reports on mortality and duality and expands Dupuis' diverse discography with ambitious, otherworldly home recordings in the surreal spirit of the Reaper she painted as cover art, end quote. Folks, it is my honor to welcome to the show, Sadie Dupuis. Ladies and gentlemen, I am joined today by the great Sadie Dupuis. Sadie, thank you for joining me on Yo, That's My Jawn.
Hi, Nate. Thrilled to be here.
Excellent. So I'm super excited to have this conversation. I've been wanting to have you on the show for quite some time now, but I do have to. I like to say a little bit of background that I have with any guest or any kind of thing. We actually met like 2 years ago.
Where did we meet?
Okay, well, so here's the thing. You ever have one of those things where it's like you replay it over and over in your head, like in an anxious kind
Oh
of
no,
repeat
am I
of how
part of an
embarrassing it is?
anxious repeat?
You are. You
I'm
are.
this is going to be my anxious repeat now.
Oh no. So we were at the Illuminati Hottie show at the church 2 years ago, and
Yes.
you and Sarah were having a conversation, and I wanted to kind of talk to either one of you both individually. Sarah is actually part of the theme song to this podcast because I bought the Rancho del Luna sound pack.
She's in the sample pack?
She's in the sample pack, yeah.
What does she do for it?
That's a good question. But in there, she there's some of her doing letters, and so I have her spelling out Jawn in the soundtrack.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But so I walked up. I handed both of you guys my business card, and literally all I said was, "We should talk sometime." And I walked away, and my wife was like, "Did you even say that it was a podcast or anything, or did you just?" And I was like, "Oh my God!" And it was so.
You gave me a sticker, I think.
Yeah,
because I think I have it in my pile of stickers that is to go on my next laptop when I get rid of the one that's broken.
Amazing. Yeah.
So that should not horrify you.
Okay, good.
I thought this was going to be something rude I did.
No. It's I always replay goofy moments of my own that I just am like, ugh, what a dork.
The ones that really horrify me, once in a while, I'll get someone online saying like that they thought I was rude because they tried to talk to me when I was leaving the stage, and I was like, oh, I probably was about to pee myself. Like, I love to talk. I'll chat with it. I love to chat.
Yeah,
I would never brush someone off on purpose.
For sure.
Those really horrify me when someone's like, she totally dismissed me, and I'm like, I will chat with anyone. I love a chat.
One of my really good friends, when we first met, the very first time we met, I was hosting an open mic, and I had just gotten off stage, and then like a year or so later, he was like, "You were a dick to me when we first met," and I was like, "Did I?"
Probably were on the way to the bathroom.
Well, I was like, "Did I just come off stage?" And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Well, I wasn't a dick. I was probably just completely zombed.
Yeah, I think that maybe for folks who are not working on stages often, there is kind of like a transitional period where you're a little you have to get from one place to the next, and you're kind of zoned out. You're basically, it's like a severance. You're becoming your outie again.
That's right.
So
that's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
So I always like to start these in the Wayback Machine. Tell me a little bit about yourself growing up.
On the Wayback Machine, my favorite feature of the internet.
Yes.
I don't know. I did just go to my 20th high school reunion last weekend, and very small high school, and 6 people organized it. So that's already about a quarter of the people who attended the reunion. But they asked when you were RSVPing for you to fill out a thing that was like, what do you think people remember you for? And I think I wrote, LOL, I don't know, can I come back to this? Which means that something was assigned for me. And the thing that my friend put in was that music, #1 Gwen Stefani fan. So I was a ska kid, played music. I don't know. I've done a lot of random things, Nate.
It's true.
I mean, we're gonna have to way back a little more specifically.
Yeah, going through your bio is crazy. I mean, there is definitely twists and turns one would not expect. Like
no, me neither.
Like 2 years at MIT.
I did. I went for math. Yeah, some of the kids I hadn't seen since high school were like, "Yeah, what happened with that? Weren't you? Didn't you have some math scholarship?" It's like, "Yep," and I didn't keep it.
That's wild. Do you still do any are you still engaged with math at all in your life, or
when I have to come up with some algebra to figure out something stupid once in a while? Yeah. For spreadsheets.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Another Wayback thing. By the way, the Wayback Machine is the gift and the curse, because there's still some things on there that I wish I could scrub. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true for me as well.
But one of the other things I saw, doing my half-ass internet research is you had some MySpace success.
I did, yeah. That's something I'm like, I wish that we had internet archived MySpace because so much music is missing from there. I think most of mine I have archived offline, thankfully. But I randomly had a top, not top, but a second to the top song on MySpace when I was 16. Song was called 16, which is, I was a very creative songwriter, as you can imagine. Uh, I never have found out why, but it was like Dashboard Confessional, then me, then James Blunt, and then like Dashboard Confessional again. So, and I have a screenshot of it, and it is real. And when I got into MIT, they like announced on there, like, we admitted someone with a top song on MySpace.
Amazing.
So that blog post I think is still up in the bowels of the internet, unfortunately.
Amazing. I've talked lovingly to a lot of people about MySpace, but like it really was kind of like the perfect artist platform, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I got to, speaking of random things I do, I did the transcriptions for the Michael Tedder book about MySpace that came out a few years ago, which I haven't read because I heard like hundreds of hours of conversations surrounding it and I needed a break. But it was really interesting to listen to all these musicians of that era and how meaningful that platform was to them having any kind of control over their careers at a fairly transitional time in the music industry, and still thinking fondly on a tech platform, at least it's pre-Rupert Murdoch era, is pretty unusual for web. I don't know what phase of web is MySpace. It's not.
That
It's
would
not
be
two.
no, it's not two. It's
3.
probably yeah,
3 is
somewhere
that
around there.
do
No, I
we
think
it's
Web
like ska
3.
waves. I don't know what
Yeah.
happens with.
It's like when I found out the toasters were third wave, and I was like, really? It
Yeah.
kind of seems like the
Wow.
bridge point. I was a bit of a ska fan myself.
I could tell.
As a matter of fact, one of the touring trombone players from the Toasters has a Budweiser jacket that I used to wear in college.
Oh.
He asked me for it, and I gave it to him, and it's one of life's regrets.
That's pretty good lore.
Yeah.
That's worth it for the story.
It was a jacket that I was known for on campus, and so it felt like the perfect send off because like all things gold must die. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, touring is like the ultimate campus forever. So it's getting
So
it's
true.
continuing to have a collegiate life.
So when did like music kind of not enter the life, because obviously music's always around and whatnot, but like to be kind of the thing you wanted to do?
Yeah, I always played, and I always was told you cannot do this for work. It's not a job that anyone has. Enjoy this creative gift and have day job. So I always was aiming to do something else with work life other than music, but I've always played and I never, anticipated not playing. So as far as when it became like a full-time thing, and now it's a little more of like a 3/4 time thing, because I certainly had to take back a lot of my old gigs post-COVID. But 2014, I think, is when I quit my quote unquote day job. But I always played. I played in bands starting from like age 13, and I started recording songs around that time. And it was just always the thing I enjoyed doing. I was writing songs before that. So lifelong pursuit, but professionally, I always joke that I fell upward into it because, I start going to school for math at like the capital M math school, and then dropped out to focus on writing, and I was writing for magazines and blogs and websites and that kind of thing. And around 2010, 2011, I was like, it's becoming increasingly difficult to be a freelance journalist. Maybe I tried some other thing. And I look into MFA programs that pay you to go, and UMass Amherst happens to be one. And I love Massachusetts and was eager to have a reason to go back after my, 2-year stint at MIT. So I started teaching at UMass Amherst. And then, of course, when I finally have somehow landed like a fairly stable and at least like future tracking job, tenure track is a whole other story. But suddenly I was in a band that people liked for like the first time. So tour opportunities kept happening, and it was like quit the next semester of teaching, or it was like go on tour with the Breeders and Stephen Malkmus, or teach another semester. So I was like, oh, I should just try this and see what happens. And was pretty lucky to be able to do it as like the main gig for however many years. I mean, I still tour, but it's not nearly what it was pre-COVID, which is fine by me.
Yeah. Well, I always find it fascinating because I always see updates, and you seem to always be playing somewhere at some point in time. What does rest look like for you? Because
can't tell you right now. I'm a little on the verge of a nervous breakdown, but I'll know what rest is like maybe in mid-August.
Okay. Yeah,
and that's going to be great. Can't wait.
You're almost there. Almost there. One thing I completely forgot. This is going to be air in the future, but
when is this? When is this post release?
Yeah. I forget what date it actually is scheduled to. I'll figure it out before the end. It'll come to me. But in the past, our future. Happy birthday!
Thank you. Yeah, this is exactly like what does rest look like. I tried to bail on my own birthday because I'm like, well, I think I need the time to rehearse and do laundry. But I'm going to go see a movie with some friends, and we're going to go to my favorite Sichuan place in Chinatown.
Sounds like a perfect
So
night.
that'll be chill.
Have you decided on the movie?
Yeah, we're going to see Stop That Train.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty excited.
Yeah, that's a baller birthday. I like that. I like that a lot.
It's July birthdays are can be hit or miss for movies. You get a lot of like action or superhero movies, which I liked pre-Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now it's not anymore. So this is an exciting one for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a big summer for non kind of blockbuster movies. Like, you got this big Backrooms and Obsession.
I haven't
push.
seen Backrooms yet. I did see
haven't
Obsession at Philly's Film Festival earlier this year, and it is my favorite of the year.
Oh, that's great. The one I'm most excited for this summer, though, is have you seen the trailer or heard about Gail Jotry and the Celebrity Sex Pass?
No.
It's a new comedy from David Wayne and Ken Marino of The State.
I mean, my favorite. I think maybe someone sent me an article about this, and I did not click it because I'm a little harried lately. Yes, I will absolutely see that.
Yeah, I'm very excited about those. Those are both former guests.
I believe it.
Yeah, big fans. So
I think that the dad rock band played recently near me, and I guess, did you go?
Not the second. So they played
near me is
two
near
shows.
you. I'm speaking as if we're not in the same city.
Right. They played City Winery, I think, last year, and then the year before that they played Ardmore.
There was something this year, I think, unless I'm losing my
there is
mind completely.
Yeah, because that's right. They are. They have a tour that's going to end at the camp that they
like
shot
Harrisburg or something.
Wet Hot American Summer. Yeah.
Is that in Harrisburg?
I think so. Like right north of or something like that.
Yeah, that's
like
incredible.
Right yeah,
and that hasn't happened yet.
I don't think it's happened yet.
So maybe I'll try to wrap up my BS by then, so I can enjoy something for once. That sounds pretty exciting. A drummer I played with in high school, who was like my best friend, because I think she's like a podcasting and comedy celeb. Dana Wickens, Wicks on the Sticks, formerly of Earwolf. I think she filled in with the dad band, and I have basically never been more envious and like excited for some things that what I know has done. Shout out Dana.
When they were on the show, I was like, I know that you, in different cities like to bring out celebrities and stuff like that. I was like, if you want me to sing a song, and they laughed, and I was like, I wasn't.
Oh, you could have done it.
I could have.
We'll get him next time.
That's right.
We'll petition them together.
Yeah. Well, they'll probably take you before they take me.
Not without my friend.
I love it. You have the 1331 coming out here under the Sad13 thing. Can I just tell you that playing guitar at 13 and 13 kind of spelling out Sadie in the Sad13 of it all, and then this album title, why is 13 following you so much?
It's a lot of numbers. People are going to think I'm doing some demon stuff. Why is 13 following me so much? I feel like when I love to commit to a bit, and there's already 13 in the name, and I think I had this labeled as like Sad13 third thing. I'll give the spoiler here, but nobody reprint this if you listen to this. Don't be a snitch. I was like Sad13 third thing part 1, so I was like 1331. But then I happened to say 31 in one of the lyrics. I happened to say 13 in one of the lyrics. It just there's a lot of former math major. I had to give props to the numerical confluence and just let it be.
It's awesome.
I don't believe in angel numbers, so it's not any. I mean, it's not that I don't believe in them. I'm just ignorant. Yeah, it's a fun looking number. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Palindromes are cool.
Yeah, for sure. So I was reading that to give the readers a little backstory, you had a really bad bike accident.
I did.
What was that, last year?
It was two years ago, a little over 2 years ago.
And the thing that I found fascinating that I read was that you felt like making the Rolling Stone greatest guitarist gave you the permission to kind of put the guitar down for a while.
It definitely made doctors take me more seriously, which was funny to find out. Which is not to say doctors wouldn't take anyone seriously with this injury, but suddenly they put me with a different surgeon because they were like, well, there's different stakes than another than a non-musical elbow. Yeah, it's not that I put it down for a while, but I feel like on previous records, I've felt a certain pressure to say, like, here's the new things I've learned. Here's how much more, like, advanced I've gotten from last time, or techniques I've incorporated. And I really had to completely relearn how to use this left arm. The first 2 months of it, I was seeing the surgeon, and I was seeing the occupational therapist in the hospital, and I was seeing a PT aside from that, and acupuncture is like a kind of full suite of people. I'm still getting PRP injections into the elbow. I have to do that in a couple weeks. But what advice I got fairly often was to visualize practice, and that you have less muscle wasting. Your muscles don't atrophy as quickly if you are visualizing the motions with them. So I was doing a lot of mental practice on guitar. It was like kind of full-time job to just be able to use this arm again for the couple months. So when it was time to finally record this stuff, I was like, I don't feel like it has to be nonstop guitar shredding. Let me experiment with some other kinds of sounds. Not even because guitar was especially difficult at that point, but I feel like I'd just spent 7 or 8 months full time thinking about how can I possibly get back to playing close to where I was. So that kind of worked out in a way. There's still guitar solos and there's parts, and as I'm learning, trying to get ready for these shows, there are a lot of really annoying, difficult guitar parts. But it just wasn't. It didn't feel like it needed to be the centerpiece of this record.
Yeah. Was there any fear of not being able to play?
Yeah, they told me I wouldn't play.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
so I
terrifying.
defied the odds. Apparently, I am in PowerPoints that the hospital uses to present on their elbow reconstruction.
Wow.
They straight up were like, you might be able to play, but it's not going to be like it was.
That's insane. Well, I'm glad they were wrong. Because that's
I think
horrifying.
I think we all worked quite hard. Me and everybody I was working with, from the surgeons to the OT and the PT and the PRP guy, and everybody tried.
That's amazing. What was kind of the birth of the 1331, kind of going into back into the Sad 13 of it all?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote all of this prior to the accident. So another comedian podcaster that maybe you know and love, Jamie Loftus, is a dear friend and has been a fairly regular collaborator for the last maybe close to a decade. I've done most of her show's theme songs, and she's done music video for me, and we're just pals, and I admire her work so much. And she got me to do a show she had a couple years ago called 16th Minute, in which she interviewed internet main characters. So I did the song for that, and I had such a good time doing it, and a lot of the reference points of what she wanted was, like, kind of early internet culture, MySpace, so I was thinking about I don't know if you remember when the screenshot of Kesha's MySpace leaked, and it was like, "What is your taste in music?" And it's like, she likes Ted Leo and Rob Crow. She's got, like,
Yeah.
this long list of things, and I'm like, "Oh, this is all the stuff I probably scrabbled on Last FM." So I was thinking about a lot of music of that time that was sort of the electroclash and electropop stuff, but was influenced by the indie rock and punk stuff of that same era. Um, and I had such a fun time using that palette for her theme song and also doing this very truncated song that I was like, it would be really nice to do a whole record like this. So I wrote all these songs that are a minute long in practice. That some of them I wound up stretching a bit longer, just because they were feeling. I mean, I'm packing a lot into a minute. That needed a little bit of breathing. But basically, doing Jamie's podcast was the reason I started writing these songs because it was so fun it's such a fun mental exercise to try to pack a lot into this short time span.
I feel like hopefully Wawa picks up the fact that you're doing these because like they have the Hoagie Fest jingle every summer, and I just heard that Eliza Hardy Jones did this year's Hoagie Fest theme.
Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
she brought in I think Eric Slick and Pat Finnerty to back
That's
her
a
on it.
perfect crew.
Yeah, and then prior to that, for many years, those jingles were done by Perry Grip from Nerf Herder,
Oh,
who
that's funny.
who went on to write 100,000 kids songs.
That I did not know, but that's
I didn't know about it. Like, it's very weird because not just he, but also Chris Ballou from the President of the United States of America, who was the last episode guest, also had a child career of making music as Casper Baby Pants.
okay. Interesting.
And
I
I'm
mean,
like, what?
kind of a lot of my friends have, or at least friends who are a bit older than me, have landed in a career of doing children's music. Matt Mahaffey of Self, who's one of my favorite musicians and a good pal, has like a children's scoring production house, and that's, I mean, I think it's like him and his family basically, but they do like half the shows. And then Kay Hanley of Letters to Cleo,
Yes.
also, this stand is I need to like replace a screw. It's gonna fall down. This has been happening all day. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect. But yeah, so that's a future path. I would think for it's like the new indie path is to kids music.
To do scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I'll say there's not in the kids' world, but there's some stuff in that world coming up for me.
Oh yeah,
All
very
being
cool.
very vague and
Yeah. I like it. Just writing short music, to me, like it's kind of like the true essence of a song. Like I'm not wasting any time here.
Yeah.
What's your process in kind of making sure that you hit all of the beats you want, but still are?
yeah, it's
kind of
not
in-
easier. I feel like I was doing about as much writing as I do for a longer song, but it was just being incredibly selective, being unprecious about darling killing. And in terms of production, I actually think it's a lot more intensive than some of the longer songs I've worked on. There's just like a lot of little details, and I don't know. I've been working this past week on getting the backing tracks ready because I'm going to do solo shows, which I don't especially I haven't done very often. It makes me really anxious. But I'm giving it the college try.
There we go.
So I've been making the tracks, and I'm like, these are more. These have way more shit in them than my songs that are like 4 times as long. So it's been interesting to try to make those arrangements. I have decided for the live show I'm gonna do extended versions of the songs because it's just like the whole set would be over in
Right,
like
yeah.
16 minutes. My brain can't handle doing I'm not quite at the like playing a 40 song set phase of my life.
Yeah.
And I hope never to be there, TBH. But yeah, I've been trying to rearrange them to be a bit longer to allow for the things that give a song some breath, like a guitar solo here instead of an instrumental verse, or a slightly modified verse, but I really had to kind of make those choices and be really decisive in recording the demos. So it's not easier. It was a lot harder, and it was really fun, but it was a challenge.
It's awesome. In extending them, have you unlocked anything in any of the songs that you wish you would have done prior, or?
No, I think I'm really happy with letting the recordings be their own thing, and that's true of any differentiation between the live set and the recording. You're always going to get to things in rehearsing that you're like, oh, this is cool. This is how this song goes from now on when I present it in public. I'm pretty happy with letting recordings stand as their own thing. But something I am enjoying, and as I did for the some previous Sad13 stuff, the first record we did has a feature from Samus on it, a favorite songwriter and rapper. And I was like, I don't want to just play her voice and have it be coming out of the PA. So I started to incorporate samples of other things that I liked. Poetry readings and things like that in lieu of her verse when we did the song live. And so for a couple of these songs where I've been like, I don't feel like singing, there's one verse, I don't feel like singing it 2 or 3 times. One of the songs is about Sherelle Parker. So I was able to drop a couple of her speeches into the set. Amazing. And I'm pretty excited to trigger those. We've got her Eagles Chant and a speech that she gave. Eagles Chant, of course, but then same the Eagles Parade where she gives the speech and everyone says wrap it up.
Yeah.
She says something that I feel like didn't get covered, but she says she basically says there's nothing we can do when we work together as a team. And it's just perfect, like delivered in her, bravado.
The gift that keeps on giving, isn't she?
So I got her in there. I got an awesome newscaster talking about some kids who released crickets at like a British anti-trans conference. It's specifically a J.K. Rowling funded British anti-trans conference, and some kids showed up and released a bunch of crickets. And this is a newscaster who's like so delighted by this. And she's like, "You go, kids! Like a cricket will still jump on a billionaire." She's awesome. So I got that in there as well.
Amazing! It's amazing.
So throwing in samples that are like not me or things that will make me laugh and during the set when I'm sweating bullets. That's my favorite part of
that's great.
The arrangement.
I think I mentioned this to you offline, online, but off pod. I love a good short song because I DJ every other Monday on Why Not Radio, which you just did a radio takeover. I
did. I went yesterday. I should have just played short songs, really, if I think about it.
The whole time.
Nobody's asked me that.
Which, by the way, if anybody wants to check that out, whynotradio.net/on-demand. It will be available by the time this goes up.
Yeah, I think it goes up on Friday.
Friday.
So what day is this? What day are we talking right now in the future?
We are... I think 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah.
Great.
But
so in the past, on July 10th.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I love a good short song because I always find it very hard. I got yelled at one time very early on when I first started DJing because I went over time, and the show after me is a pre-record, so it really messed things up. Okay.
Yes.
So now I'm like I have like an OCD about trying to hit like the time by 0. Like so I'm always doing math at the end of the show, trying to find a song that'll fit perfectly so that it just
you don't have to fade it out.
Flat. Yeah.
Do you find fading out painful? Because I do.
Very, very. Yeah. Because like I know that there's at least one person who's going to be like, "Hey, what the? I like that."
It's
like,
me. Yeah. Do you have OCD? Because I do.
Yeah. It's
and when someone turns an album off in the middle, I lose my mind. I don't care if I hate it. We put it on. Let's see this through.
Yeah. So like especially if I'm like trying to show somebody something and like
they turn the volume down.
Yes, and I'm like, no.
Killing me. Just pause it. Just hit pause. We've missed seconds that were valuable.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is maybe the kind of psychology you need to have to make a 1-minute song album, but
to make sure that people don't turn it down. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
So with all of these 1-minute songs, I've heard Watermelon Manicure so far. Very meditative.
They didn't send you the whole album?
They didn't.
That's messed up.
It's mean, isn't it? feels a
I'll
little
send it to
disrespectful.
you.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing.
It's
But it
like
feels
it's like 16 minutes long.
yeah, it
What are
feels
they
very
trying to protect?
meditative.
Interesting,
Yeah,
because it's like scary Foley sounds.
yeah. Well, I mean, like, I kind of meditate to industrial sounds. I don't know
Okay,
if
all
anybody
right.
else does, but
Well, I don't meditate.
I just mean like rhythmically, like it's kind of got that kind of like a mantra almost, like a repetitive mantra.
And this is another one where it's like I even for songs that are 3.5 minutes long, I will tend to overwrite, and then I'll just pick what is my favorite. So, if a song has 3 verses, I probably wrote like 7 and put together what I want. I don't spend like a ton of time, but I feel like the free writing brain space is so generative, and it's harder to get there when you're mixing, for example. So I try to just get as much out of the writing headspace as possible, because maybe 4 months later I'll be trying to record it and I'll be like, I hate these lyrics. Is there anything? What did that guy that day who wrote this have to say beyond this? So that's when, again, as I'm rehearsing, I'm looking at the initial notes I wrote myself. I'm like, oh, there's all these lyrics I did not use. But those are the ones that seemed right at the time, I guess. And I also am despite being so rarely on the grid with my music, it's a lot of changes that happen once, or one extra beat somewhere, or just things that make it really hard to stay on a loop system. I love like Juana Molina is one of my favorite musicians and performers as well. And some of the things that she does are like only possible because she's looping. Or I've seen Rick from Pyle do loop based stuff. I've seen a lot of people do it, and it's awesome. And I just wish I wrote my brain-made songs that
yeah.
could work that way. So this is sort of my foray into like doing something where I could. There's a lot of changes that happen, but it's sort of on a grid, sort of on a loop. And it was fun also to layer the vocals so much, because it's not like copied and pasted. It's like anytime I'm singing that, there's 16 to 32 stacks of it, and each one is its own individual take. So that was kind of a fun, different way of doing things for me. I didn't really treat it as like a lead vocal that needed to be edited precisely. It's like 32 only barely edited vocals, and seeing what that does as a blend.
That's amazing, because that was actually going to be one of my questions, was like, on an average song, what would you say the stem count is?
It's again, it's kind of similar to how it is for the longer songs. I tend to hit like about 100, a little over 100 tracks generally, which makes things challenging when we're starting from my pre-production, and then I'm taking it to a studio where I'm going to build more tracks. But I kept it in-house this time, so I didn't crash anyone's Pro Tools other than my own.
Other than your own. Very nice.
And
Very
I'm in
nice.
Logic, so it's even glitchier.
That's amazing. I'm keeping an eye on the time here. You want to go through the questionnaire? This is my
Oh, yeah.
I call this the jauntlet. This is how I
God,
end up.
was I supposed to have looked at questionnaire?
No, you didn't have to. It's I only send it as just a kind
Do
of.
I have it?
I don't know. They're very easy.
Okay.
I just yeah. You don't.
Yeah,
have to worry.
let's ride on riffing. Let's see what I
There
can
we
do.
go. It starts with the one hit wonders, which is a name and segment only. These are not one hit wonder acts. Who I named it stupidly, and I understand and I recognize it and I accept it. But the first one, Billy Joel.
What a way to sell it.
Yeah, well, Billy Joel or Elton John. Who do you prefer?
It's funny. I read Elton John's memoir this year, and I watched Billy Joel's documentary like a month ago. I am fairly unfamiliar with both of their discographies, so I was coming in as like basically a novice to both. Um, I think I probably prefer Elton John, but I was pretty compelled by the Billy Joel documentary, and it made me want to dive into maybe some of his albums that are less popular, because I think that might be more of the stuff, like the stuff where he's like, we just made it sound like a Long Island dirtbag bar band. I'm like, this sounds like maybe what I'd be more into, and I've only heard the very like classically inspired stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was not a rapid fire answer.
No, it's good. It's good. You, like I said, you're more than welcome to pontificate on these.
Yeah, spent little time with both of their discographies, but happen to have learned a lot about both of them this year and want to dive in more.
Very nice, very nice. Debbie Harry or Joan Jett?
It's Debbie Harry for me.
Yeah.
But Joan Jett, Debbie Harry's a Cancer, like me, but Joan Jett's a vegan like me.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't
I see.
know. The personal connection is that my mom was friends with Blondie, so with
Your mom
really
wrote for
her
Punk?
band.
Is that
She
right?
did, yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. I met Legs McNeil one time at this is the most random thing, at a firehouse social hall in North Wales, Pennsylvania, in the suburbs.
'Cause he lives in Philly, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think she went to see him once when she was visiting me.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
they went to, like, a random pizza place in West Philly.
He showed up because, a friend of mine was in a punk band called Fed Up, and they do a Christmas show every year, or at least they
Okay.
used to, and I was just standing there, and I'm like, is that fucking Legs McNeil in
That's
North
really
Wales?"
funny.
Like, it was very random. Very,
Yeah,
very
he
random.
lives there, and then, Lenny Kaye is in Stroudsburg.
Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that. That's amazing.
So there's some Pennsylvania, representation for the punk scene.
For sure, for sure. Aretha Franklin or Tina Turner?
Ooh. Oh, you're killing me. I mean, both goated. I think I'm gonna go for Aretha, but that's really hard.
Yeah, it's a tough
You
one.
could ask me tomorrow, and it might swing the other way.
I only recently, came across, Tina Turner's, country album, and it's great. It's absolutely
I
amazing.
bet. I
Yeah.
bet. I mean, incredible probably a voice that's, like, more aligned with how I I don't know. They're both incredible. I'm again, thank you, Philly Public Library. I'm listening to the Carole King audiobook right now, so maybe I have Aretha, on my mind a little bit because that she wrote, Natural Woman.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of great Monkey songs.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, that
I'm a
did come up.
big Monkees fan. Nirvana or Pearl Jam?
It's Nirvana.
I thought so.
That one's easy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My
Jen
voice gets compared to Eddie Vedder a lot, and I don't hear it, so
Really?
I think it's
I
like
do not hear that,
or
but
maybe
that's
it did when I was young. Honestly, I think maybe my college boyfriend said that to get on my nerves, and so in my mind, it's now become like people always said this to me. Both good though, but Nirvana was like a big. I have like multiple Nirvana T-shirts, so I think that's got to be the winner.
No, I dig it. Janis Joplin or Stevie Nicks?
I think it's Janis Joplin.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
The big cliche, Beatles or the Stones?
Beatles,
And the
but my
final
parents both
Yeah?
Stones people.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
I'm a late in life Stones guy. I was always a Beatles guy, and then, like, I just kinda dug into their discography maybe, like, 10 years ago, and I was like, "Oh, I get it. I
They're
get it
so
now."
different to me. I've never really understood that as like a I guess that maybe that's the point. They are
Yeah.
quite different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
You mentioned, bar band, sound with, Billy Joel. That's what they remind me of, is like, a
the
bar
Stones?
band. Yeah, a bar band that kind of plays stadiums, you know?
Yeah, at the time that I had like formative things were developing, I probably liked the more fussy experimental stuff and like like I loved Radiohead. But at this age, maybe I'm more inclined to like the punk shit.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. The last one of the one-hit wonders, Bohemian Rhapsody or Stairway to Heaven?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, easy?
Yeah.
Yeah. The second half of this yeah, no, for sure. I totally agree.
They're like, again, they're not the same thing.
No, no, no. Well, that one came together, I like to give this history because of Wayne's World, because there's
Okay.
a reference to both of them in Wayne's World,
That makes
and
sense.
Paul Myers was on this podcast, and they were both kind of references to things that actually happened in his life, so I got to ask him
Interesting.
that, and it's like, "You were the genesis of this question, so thank you, sir."
There you go.
It's amazing. The second half of this is the top 10 countdown. Obviously, we use Jawn to be whatever you want it to be. The first one, what was your first Jawn? What was the first thing you were obsessed with as a kid?
I mean, as at my high school reunion, people knew I no doubt was like a huge one for me.
Yeah?
My best friend in third grade, Sydney Pello, shout out Sydney, we share a birthday. It's coming up. Um, I was like, I love this band Aqua, and she was like, okay, but check out No Doubt. And both are good, but I got deeply into No Doubt. I already liked ska because of my parents, and while I, have everybody's feelings about Gwen Stefani are a little tainted these days. That was such a huge band for me growing up and writing songs and learning to be in a band. So That's maybe my first. That's my first Jawn.
I dig it. I dig it. Yeah, no doubt. And Goldfinger were kind of my to bring me back into ska
I like
acts.
Goldfinger. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's good stuff. Number two, what's your current John? What are you into right now?
What am I into right now? I'll tell you what I would like to be getting into tonight is the Taco Taco in West Philly continues to have
Hey,
their walnut burrito that Honest Tom developed, and that was what I was planning to have for dinner. And my partner went out to get it for me before we started taping, and they're closed for vacation. So,
no.
I love it. I love people deserve vacation.
Is there
Me,
anything worse though than deciding on what you want to eat and then
you
not
know.
being able to eat that? Like
Especially, I don't know
I,
if you have this problem when I'm very stretched thin, like, any kind of food decision making is just
yeah,
not
very
happening
taxing.
for me.
Yeah,
I'm like, "I'm gonna eat a plain toast because I can't think I can't be creative
yeah.
on this right now." So we picked something and they're closed. But yeah, I love I love Taco Taco. Let's pick that.
I like it. I like it. Number three, what was your first concert, first live show?
That I chose to see is No Doubt,
Oh,
actually.
yeah. All right.
My mom took me to see them at the Roseland Ballroom on, Return of Saturn tour, but I'd been to see shows with my parents, prior to that. But this was the first thing that I was like, I asked for tickets to.
That's great. That's great. Number four, what was the last show you went to?
Hmm. I went to see Gang of Four, which now features I've been joking they're the babies of Gang of Four. My friends Ted Leo and Gail Greenwood are, now half of Gang of Four, which is really funny and incredible. They're so good, and I love them both individually, and so it's really fun to see them play in in this band that I also love together. And the opening act is Downtown Boys, and, who are old friends and came on some of Speedy's early tours, and, we share a drummer. So it was like my one fu my one fun night was, seeing so many friends play in I guess it was in Woodstock,
Very
like
nice.
a week ago?
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Oh, I
it
like
was
that.
good. What did you see? I guess this is not for
Man,
you to answer, but
no, the last show I went to, my wife and I just had a baby in March, so like I got to go
congratulations.
backwards. Oh wait, no, that we took our kid to the first his first show. I just realized that.
Already?
We yeah, yeah. Well, we're music
Yeah,
people.
sure.
We went to see Hooray for the Riff Raff.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I thought that
I
was a good
love
first concert
Alinda,
for him.
that's a really good one.
Yeah, yeah.
Where was that?
That was at Concert Under the Stars in King of Prussia, the
Cool, yes.
Rising Sun series they do.
I went
Yeah.
to one of those, I guess I went to see Amy Mann do that last year.
Okay. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was great.
The my random run in the audience was Augusta from Gladdy was there, and
Yep,
it was
that
just
makes
like, oh
sense.
hey, yeah. But
That's
yeah, good
that's a
times,
good crew.
good times. Number five, what was your favorite concert, best show you ever saw?
Um, I have, like, I could give so many different answers for different reasons, but one that I always like to cite is there's a Pile show I went to in, like, 2013, maybe 2012 actually, or even, like, late 2011. Let's keep walking. It was actually
Just
before
keep
I was
going
born.
backwards. Yeah,
Um, I think that Mike Falcone, the original Speedy drummer, still a best friend, was DJing and I was assisting him. And maybe like 6 people came to this show. And I think it's the first time Pyle played Prom Song, which wound up one of their like to me, like, greatest I mean, it probably is one of their greatest hits, but, at the time, it was, like, 6 people, and I was like, "This is the best guitar solo I've ever seen." So I this was at Death by Audio when it was still there, I'm sure it was, like, a 5-band bill. So first time Pyle played Prom Song, that's definitely up there. And then my I'm gonna tie this with, uh, we played a Riot Fest one year that System of a Down played,
nice.
and I have not been able to see them before or since, but it was, like, so good, all wireless everything. I I respect them a lot.
That's
Great
great.
great band.
I saw them at Ozfest in Camden one year,
I'm
and
jealous.
it was just mind melting. It was great.
I
Absolutely.
another that's another, memoir I read this year is Serge Tankian's. It's really good.
Is it good?
He's
Oh,
he's
I
a
get.
fascinating person and, unbelievably thoughtful as, you
I
could
believe that.
expect, but
Yeah,
it's a
for
it's a
sure.
good read.
I gotta check it out. Number five, six. Who have you never seen live that you wish you could have? They can be living or dead.
Who have I never seen live that I wish I could have? I mean, I would have liked to have seen Prince.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I'll tell you the story that I've told so many people, and the people who listen to this podcast are like, "Here he goes." But my parents had bought tickets for the Purple Rain tour and bought one for me to go with them. And then they found out about what the stage show looked like, and they wouldn't let me go. So
That's
that was
very
that
funny.
was my only chance to see Prince, and I didn't get to go. So
That's very, very funny.
yeah.
Oh,
The next one, number 7, name an unappreciated Jawn, something you wish more people paid attention to.
unappreciated Jawn. Um, Philly specific or just anything?
Anything.
Well, in promoting this album for whatever reason, Vince Staples keeps coming up, who does not need more promotion. He's very famous, and has every right to be. His music is among my favorite music. But I'm finding out that like no one I know watched the Vince Staples show, which was one of my favorite TV shows of the last decade. Did you see it?
Was that MTV or Comedy Central or something like that? It was
I think it was HBO.
okay, yeah.
It's like I loved the Louis C.K. Which obviously has, like, quite a stink about it now,
Yeah.
but this reminded me of that show in a lot of ways. It's, like, very funny, but also surreal and emotional, and it hits a lot of notes, and it's so, um, I impressively done. It was just yeah, I feel like I'll watch a lot of TV, but I don't think most of it's very good. That's not to s
Yeah.
No, take it back. Wipe that
No, no,
take
no.
take that sentence back. I'll watch a lot of bad TV, and I'm really stoked about it. And then sometimes I see something and I'm like, "This is, like, some of the best art I've ever been witness to," and I thought the Vince Staples show was that.
That's great. Did you listen to the new album?
Yeah, I love it.
It's incredible. Yeah.
And I like that it's inspiring some, arguments about music. That is fun. Some thoughtful criticism that does not like that record, but I love it. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
I
Absolutely
played it.
amazing.
It's on my Why Not takeover if
Well, very
you
cool.
head to whynot.com
Yeah,
/on demand.
whynot.net/on-demand. You can find the Radio Takeover.
You'll hear Running Man by Vince Staples.
My favorite thing is the radio takeovers, and also like at Christmas time, we do our DJ picks for the best of the year, because I like to play things that normal people don't listen to on Why Not. So like
Yeah.
2 years ago, I got to play Rebecca Black on or last year, I guess it was.
I almost named her among favorite shows I've been to. I went to her TLA show last year with my bandmate Audrey, who's also a Rebestie, and I was like, "This is." I've seen some stadium pop shows, and this is better presented, and I think those songs are phenomenal. I love
They're
Rebecca Black.
incredible. You know, I feel like she's one of those people who kind of, I can't believe, survived kind of the tall poppy internet mockery,
Yeah.
and kind of turned it on its head into something really incredible.
Yeah.
And it's wild. I dig that.
Yeah, that was among my favorite records last year.
Yeah, it was
Really,
great, wasn't it?
really good.
Yeah, for sure. One of my favorite shows last year, talking about stadium stuff in a small room, tangentially, I saw Joey McIntyre from New Kids on the Block
That's fun.
at the TLA, and it was insane, absolutely insane, but very enjoyable.
That is incredible.
Number 8, what's your favorite album?
Of all time?
Yeah,
Oh, I can't do
it's
that.
a tough question, I know.
Yeah, I don't think I have it.
Okay, how about
Think-
favorite album right now?
Comfort me. I feel like Dylan always is like when I'm having a hard time, my greatest hits, and I feel like I'll put on Elliott Smith, but it
Oh.
doesn't mean I'm like sad. I'm just like, this is my favorite sounding music. This is for any kind of mood. So
Yeah,
I think like maybe Either or is the album I've like listened to the most in my lifetime, but I don't know.
yeah.
There's so many things that are my favorite.
I have to. Elliott Smith and Damian Rice and Jeff Buckley are like kind of really tied to a period in my life, so I have to be very careful when I'm listening to them to not kind of sink into that mindset.
Sure.
Yeah, that's like a holy trinity to me.
Those other two for sure are like high school. I spent a lot of time listening to. I feel like I kept up with my boy Elliott Smith, and we have a good adult relationship
That's good.
too.
That's good.
So it's not a particular mood music.
It's
And
awesome.
honestly, like, I like his songs I like the rockin' songs. He's very funny. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's not maudlin music to me.
There was a Heat Miser re-release 2 years
Yeah.
ago that was absolutely phenomenal. That was like one of my favorites of when they.
Burned Out, Still Glowing. Is that there's like a really fast punk song on it that's great.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Number 9, name an artist whose output you'll consume anything they release.
Rebecca Black, Elliott Smith, Vince Staples, not No Doubt.
I was just gonna say, does Gwen Stefani still fall in that, or?
Let me do a local plug. Well, it's so hard. Let's say Nina Reiser, another local artist I love, and a neighbor, who I got to know through Palberta, which anyone from Palberta, basically. If the person was in Palberta, then I will check out the thing.
Awesome. I love it. The 10th and final of the top 10 countdown. What is your favorite Jawn of all time? Again, it can be anything you want it to be.
Favorite Jawn of all time? I'd say hot sauce.
Yeah? Do you have a favorite hot sauce?
I have a favorite maker of hot sauce, none of which I have at home right now, but Dragon's Blood Elixir they're based in Willimantic, Connecticut. It's all like farmer's market produce, but the guy is like a hot sauce wizard, and so there's a lot of really short run, seasonal, thematic hot sauces, and so I was like a massive fan. I'm like a reply guy for things that I like, and it's often restaurants. I actually have published an essay about this where I've been like recognized for being on the Instagram comments of like restaurants, not because of anything I've done like creatively. They're just like, oh, you're the person who's always writing mail me on like, $2 Radio's breakfast specials. Dragon's Blood Elixir, I was like a reply guy. I loved their hot sauce. And then at some point, I think they realized, oh, she's in a band that like, so somehow we became in touch, and not just me replying to them. And so we've done a few hot sauce collabs together, which are not my favorites of the ones they've done, because I think like the classics are, the formula that gets honed over the years. But we've done some really interesting ones, and it'll be like, I'll send them the record and say, here are some of the themes. And he'll be like, here is that translated to a very specific hot sauce. I just love watching people be amazing at food and speaking that creative language. It's something that I'm a competent cook, but it's not my creative forte. And so I think it's more exciting for me to fan out about things I do not know how to do. So I'm a little bit of a hot sauce collector. Dragon's Blood is the enduring fave. I got into one called Torchbearer last year because they carried it at Juana Tamale. Great taco spot on Passyunk. But Dylan, my partner, and I went to a garlic festival last year. Which is maybe maybe garlic's probably my favorite Jawn of all time. I love me some raw garlic. But they had Torchbearer there, and I bought like a flight of them, and I'm just about running out. So that's another contender for best hot sauce. But I'm snobby about them, and I carry them with me because I love them.
That's awesome. I love it. That's the kind of passion I like in a favorite Jawn.
It's like Elliott Smith, Sometimes it's gonna make you cry. Sometimes it's gonna make you feel really good. Sometimes it's kind of funny.
Oh, that's great. So 1331, by the time this airs, out on streaming everywhere. Is there physical of this?
Not yet.
Will there be?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. So
Someday.
eventually some physical.
Next year.
Yeah. And one of the other things I'm really excited about you coming on the show is every year I put together a playlist of Christmas songs by guests of the podcast,
I know
that you are a Christmas song connoisseur. So I'm very thankful that
I
this
probably
happened.
have like 10 at this point.
It's great.
And there'll be another one this Christmas. So
I was toying with releasing a 7-inch of 2 Christmas songs this Christmas season, but this whole baby thing kind of took my time. Kind of messed things up.
Yeah, you
in the best way.
A 7 pound instead of a 7.
That's exactly right. That's great.
Not to presume your baby's birth weight, but
well,
educated guess.
He was 6 pounds 8 ounces, so
okay,
very close.
Round up, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So if anybody wants to find you on the internet, what's the best way to track you down?
Go to www.sad13.horse. I am on Instagram at Sad13. I have Blue Sky at Sad13.horse. And I did reactivate Twitter, but I don't want to go on there.
It's tough.
Find
It's
me
tough.
elsewhere.
Yeah. I don't even know that there's engagement to be had there to even
It's kind of
promote.
shocking. There is. Like,
Is
I
there
went on
really?
and I was like, I don't want to be on here, but da-da-da, new thing coming out. And I don't know.
Weird. Yeah. It's I miss it. I do.
Why are
Like
we
it was
on? Yeah.
it was
Can't
a
we
great
disrupt,
place before.
We need to go back to MySpace.
Yeah, that's like where's Tom? Can we get hold of Tom?
I think he like cashed out and is living a good offline life, basically.
Smart guy.
Yeah.
He didn't want to try to rule the world like everybody else.
Nope.
What an asshole.
Nope.
Oh, Sadie, thank you so
That's
much
why
for
it was
doing this.
good.
That's why it was good. Yeah. It was run by a good person. Well,
Yeah.
at least that I know of.
I think so. I think that's true.
Okay, good. Thank you so much for doing this. And
Yeah, of course.
like I said, I've been looking forward to this conversation for quite some time. We have a lot of mutuals. You were on my pal Dan's podcast a few years ago, 25, and so I've been looking forward to this. So thank you so much.
Me too. And I hope that your horrifying memory of giving me and Sarah Tedson your sticker gets refiled as a good memory, because I remember it. It wasn't weird.
I just have to have the mea culpa with her, and then we're all good. Then I can wish it away to the
I was
cornfield.
texting her today, actually. She'll love this.
My very many thanks again to Sadie for joining me here on the podcast today. 1331, the new mixtape by Sad13, is out now, available for download on her Bandcamp page, sad13.bandcamp.com, as well as available to stream on all of the streaming platforms. You can follow Sadie on the socials at Sad13 on Instagram and Twitter, at Sad13.horse on Blue Sky, and at Sad13 spelled out on Facebook. You can catch Sadie live this Sunday, August 9th at Love City Manayunk, and on Saturday, August 22nd at Bazooka Fest 2026. For more info on those and much more, visit her website at sad13.horse. Links to all of those are, of course, as always, in the show notes. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to the Yo, That's My Jawn podcast wherever you get your podcast from. And guys, it is never too late to get yourself a super awesome Jawn Scout Merit Badge for citizenship of the world just by rating and reviewing us. Don't forget to visit www.yothat'smyjawn.com for the link tree with links to articles, merchandise, all of the previous episodes of this podcast, guest appearances on other podcasts, and more. And while you guys are there, please be sure to sign up for our mailing list to get all of the updates delivered straight into your inbox. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/YoThat'sMyJawn for updates and live streams. Follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Substack at Yo That's My Jawn, and search Yo That's My Jawn on YouTube to find the Yo That's My Jawn YouTube channel. Like and subscribe the heck out of that ish. We want to hear from you. Reach out, and touch some Jawn. You know, Sunday is both my sister and my sister-in-law's 42nd birthdays. Both of them, 42. Born same day, same year. How crazy is that? Big happy birthday shout out to the two of them, y'all. Blue skies. Until next time, everybody.
That's my Jawn!
Yo, That's My Jawn is a Lonely Monk production, written and produced by yours truly, Nate Runkle. Theme song by me under the moniker Nate 3.0 and featuring Sarah Tedson from Illuminati Hotties. Kinda. Special thanks to James Ferris, DX Ferris, Andrew Scott, Maggie Poulos, Dan Drago, Philip Reese, Natalie Runkle, the beautifully vibrant and wickedly stunning Katie Dobney, and my firstborn, heir to the Yo That's My Jawn empire, Henry Davis Dobney Runkle. If you or anyone has any ideas that you would like to share or any guests you would like to hear on the podcast, please feel free to reach out to us at yothat'smyjawn@gmail.com or hit us up on the socials at yothat'smyjawn. Until next time, please be sure to displace the guilt and embrace the pleasure. Tilt your head back and shout to the world, yo, that's my Jawn.
JJWN.